I'm going to get started, and I am going to open up this candyheartbrush.psd file in Photoshop. This is that heart that will be applied in the brush. So the first thing that I am going to do is I'm going to come up here to edit. I'm going to go down to define brush preset. This is going to allow us to create that brush. So again, go to edit in your top menu bar, go down to define brush preset, click it. The first thing it's going to ask you to do is name your brush. Now in the instructions, it just says Candy Heart. But because I have 140 students and we're all using the same computers, what I want you to do is call it Candy Heart, and then I want you to call it your name. This will help with confusion when you're going to use your final brush, and I will see that you actually did it. So what I want you to do is hit OK. Now it's already started to create my brush for me. So from here, we need to play with some settings in order to make this brush usable. So to do that, what I want you to do is either go here to this file. This is your brush settings. Click here. And you can see that it already snapped to this new heart brush. If you can't find this, another place you can find these panels, this brush setting and brushes panel is up here in the window. It's right here, brush settings. Now we're going to be changing the settings here over on the left. There's only two places. It's the shape dynamics and the color dynamics. We're also going to be changing the tip shape, the spacing, and the size. So first things first, we want to change our size, which is in pixels, to 100 pixels. This can be edited later. Just for right now, keep it 100. And remember, when you want a fast way to change your brush size without having to come here or here, you can just change it using your brackets on your keyboard. That is those square parentheses next to your P on your keyboard. The left one makes the brush smaller, the right one makes the brush bigger. All right? The next thing we're going to do is we're going to change our spacing. This is a sample of what the brush is going to look like when it's painted. Right now we kind of have a heart-shaped snake. We have a little heart edge. We don't want the hearts to be overlapping like this because it creates a funky texture. It makes it one solid shape. So what we're going to do is change the spacing from 10% to 145%. And now we have more of a, like a garland or like a Valentine's Day decoration instead of a snake. All right, the very next thing we are going to do under the shape dynamics tab. So if I just click this box over here on the left, it's just going to say, yes, we are using these settings, but we're not changing them. In order to change them, we have to make sure we're actually clicking on the text itself. So it'll pop up with these settings here. So the first setting that I want to change is the size jitter. So that's this right here. Our size jitter, we are going to change it to 15%. And you can kind of see what it does down here when I change this. So all this does is it tells the brush to create variation in size as you're painting. So some of the hearts are a little bit smaller. It's not a huge variation. It's only 15%, but it goes from small to big as you paint. If you can hear my cats in the background, I apologize. All right. The next thing we're going to change, is this minimum diameter. We want this to be 0. If it's not 0, make it 0. And the next thing is the angle jitter. The angle jitter we want to change to 100%, and you can, again, see what happens when I change the number. and then hit enter. So basically what this is doing is as it draws each heart, it's rotating it slightly. That's all it's doing. We want it to be a little bit more dynamic, a little more fun. This rotation makes it a little bit more interesting as well. Okay, now the roundness jitter, we're going to leave at 0%. And these boxes down here, leave them alone. Do not check them. Okay, now we're going to move to color dynamics. Again, remember, if I click here, it just says, yes, we're using these settings. But if you click on the text, it allows you to change the settings. Okay, so right now everything's at 0 and this box is unchecked. So basically, it's going to be pulling the color that I want for my brush straight from my foreground, that very front color. So if I start painting, it's going to be red and nothing's going to change it. But so if you want a solid color, that's the way to go. Make sure this is unchecked and make sure all of these say 0 and that control is off. But if you want something a little bit more dynamic, a little bit more fun colored, maybe a little bit more rainbow, you can change your foreground and background color to 2 separate colors. Remember, you can do that here or up here in the color palette. Click here. Go to purple, and it doesn't really matter what colors you choose. I'm going to do purple and teal. Now that I have that, you do have to have the 2 separate colors. This is, and then I have to change a few other things. So we need to make sure this box is checked. We're going to change our foreground background jitter. Basically, that's telling the brush how often to change the color when we're painting. We're going to change that to 15%. Hit enter. Now control goes to pen pressure. That means when we click and drag and then lift it and then click and drag, it's going to change it based off of how we're doing that. Next we're going to change is hue jitter to 100%. The saturation jitter stays at 0. The brightness jitter stays at 0. And the purity stays at 0. So now, if everything is correct, when you paint, it should change the colors as you paint. And then if you lift your finger off, it's going to start that brush over again. If you want more of a pastel color, you change these colors to a lighter color, like so. And it'll change the brightness of that color to more of a pastel color instead of a vibrant rainbow color. Okay. Now, for hearts that we want to have in a similar tone, so if you just want pinks, just varying colors of pink, the way to do this is to change your colors. First, you want to pick the color you want it to be. For mine, I'm doing a picture of a orange tabby cat. Actually, it's 2. So I'm going to change my hearts to kind of an orange color like this. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. Actually, I'm going to get the exact color that I used here by grabbing this code at the bottom, copying with Command-C, coming over here, pasting here with Command-V, and then I'm just going to slide it down the scale. So basically it's the same exact color, it's just a different tone. So I made it lighter, more of a pastel orange. I'm going to go a little bit lighter. Kind of like that. Now what we have to change in our settings is just in this color dynamics. We don't want to touch the shape dynamics anymore. We're going to change the foreground and background color jitter to 100%. Again, remember this isn't the way to go if you want multiple colors. This is only if you want similar tones. So if I want all oranges or all pinks or all blues or whatever you choose. Then, all right, we're going to leave this at pen pressure. Hue jitter should be 0. We don't want a lot of variety in the hues. And then we are going to leave the rest at 0. Now, this should all be the same color, just slightly varying. I might bring this to more of a red-orange shade to make it a little bit more interesting. Same thing here. Okay. So you can actually see the variation in the colors. Okay. And that's pretty much all you have to do. Then just basically save out your work by hitting Command S, and then you can put this onto your Google Drive, find a picture. I already have a picture here that I want to put my hearts on. I'm just gonna, oh goodness. It won't let me drag it, so I'll just open it the old-fashioned way. I'm going to go to File, Open. I'm going to go to Desktop, find my picture. So I'm going to put my hearts on these guys because I think they are absolutely adorable. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my brushes. I already have this selected. You can change, oh, did it save my settings? Yeah, okay. So now you can change. So mine are really tiny right now. You can change your brush settings by bringing these up. Remember those brackets? So basically, I just want you guys to play with this a little bit. You can just create a border around your picture, however you want. Okay. I just want to see that you did the project and that it's different from everyone else's a little bit. Make something cute. All right, and then when you're done with this, go up to File, Export, Export As. Make sure it's a JPEG. Export. Remember to name it. You should probably follow these naming conventions. Call it Candy Heart Final, and then your name. Save it on your desktop. Okay. And then I don't care if you save a PSD file of this working file. I'm more interested in this over here. So once you're done, you'll open up your Google Classroom, find your period, double click on it, find your name, double click on it. And then all you have to do to upload your files is click and hold. Oh goodness. Sorry guys, my tracking pad is not working well anymore. So click and drag this down into here and then let go. And then same thing with that JPEG. It's over here. See? I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to do File Upload. And then I'm going to find those pictures. So it's, where is it? Right here. I'm going to let that upload. And then I'm going to right click, File Upload. Go down here to Candy Hearts. Click on my PSD file. And then that's it. Then your project's done. Thank you for listening, and I hope this helps. Bye.